Let me ask you, and if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I apologize. Enrique Capriles, is that the way you say it?
What is that?
The opposition leader, is it Enrique Capriles? How do you say his name right?
Oh, Enrique Capriles.
Okay. He seems to be trying very hard to take a stand against the Maduro government, but in the last election, it was very close, and when his supporters took to the streets to demand a recount, Maduro sent the National Guard out.
Yeah, the thing is that a lot of people, we think that Capriles is leaning toward the left. That, you know what I mean? He calls himself a progressive. So we are worried about that because in the bottom line, I don't think they are very much eager to change it. This government.
Really? I thought he was running to roll back the Chavez agenda.
Yeah. He wants to change the government, but he's not. His strategy is wrong, and that's one of the things that we have been warning him and the people in Venezuela, because he's believing that by elections he's going to get rid of Maduro, and Maduro is taking control of the electoral system. All the people that control the electoral system are pro-Maduro, pro-Chavez, pro-Cuban.
But are you saying that Enrique? How do you say? I'm sorry if I'm not getting it right. Capriles. Are you saying that basically he wants to take power, but doesn't really want to do anything different? Kind of like Jeb Bush and Hillary Clinton, that they might be campaigning against each other, but they don't fundamentally want to do things differently. Are you telling me that he's really kind of no better?
He might be better than Chavez on Maduro, but his strategy will not get us out of this.
Oh, okay.
Because he's just thinking about votes.
So he's basically an establishment Republican, is what you're saying.
Well,
yeah. Listen, he's a kind of a Mitt Romney, is what you're saying.
Yeah, he really doesn't hear the other alternatives, which are under the Constitution. We have Articles 333 and 350, which gives a straight order to the Venezuelan people to disobey any government that violates human rights and that violates the principles of democracy, which is it's very clear this government is doing. We have more than 70,000 Cubans in Venezuela. There is an invasion of Cubans in Venezuela, and people don't know that. And the traditional politicians in Venezuela are not telling the truth to the people.
But what about, how is it when you look at the shortages of basic food supplies, the government keeps taking things over and running them worse. They keep promising if we take over the energy sector, all the low-income people will have, cheap energy. If we take over the oil sector, we'll have all this money to redistribute to the poor. If we take over the food stores and the electronics stores. But yet, there's nothing but shortages and rampant inflation, and Caracas is like the murder capital of South America. How long do these people have to tolerate this?
Yes, it's like a time bomb. I mean, it's going to explode any time. There is nothing in Venezuela. That's part of their strategy. They want the people who are entrepreneurs, smart people, young people, they want them to leave the country. That's why the exile is growing enormously. It's growing every single day. We estimate like 500 families are leaving Venezuela every week. And that's part of the strategy. So they just have the poor people under control. And they don't care about the security, and they don't care about criminality. They just care about taking control of the country and taking control of the resources, the oil. Because the oil is what is substituting the subsidies of Cuba from the Soviet Union. Now, Venezuelan oil is being used to expand this terrible project, not only in Latin America, because these people are already in the United States. And some pro-Obama people are really coding with these people from South American from Venezuela, and they're doing some conferences about this socialism of the 21st century, which is like euphemism of what the Castro communist dictatorship is. So we are very concerned about the U.S. too, because besides we live here, and also this country has been an example of what freedom is. And now they want to take over this country also. And it
feels like they already have.
So we are very, for example, we are very worried about Obama closing the U.S. embassy in the Vatican. You know, I'm a Catholic, but more than 80% of the people in Venezuela are Catholic. And that's very impressive because, as you may know, Pope John Paul II and Ronald Reagan played a key role in order to destroy the Soviet Union. So the Vatican is key for the United States to reach Asia, Europe, and it's very amazing that one day before Thanksgiving, Obama closed the Vatican embassy, the U.S. embassy in the Vatican, and also the Iranian negotiations worries us a lot because the Iranians, you cannot trust the Iranians. The Iranians are going for the nuke. I mean, they're going to make the nuclear weapon anyway, and they're going to destroy Israel. I mean, I'm not just saying this out of my mind, because the same people in Iran have already said that they are going to destroy Israel. So we are very worried about this, and also the fact that the United States keeps buying oil from Venezuela. I mean, if Venezuela is an enemy of the United States, because it is, we have Hezbollah people, we have we have people from Iran in Venezuela who are being given Venezuelan passports to travel. I mean, the diplomatic missions in the United States from Venezuela are being used to spy the United States and to spy the Venezuelans in exile. We are glad that the Miami consulate, the consulate of Venezuela in Miami, was closed down by this administration, because it was very, very clear that the people there were spies. I mean, they were intelligence people. They were not diplomats. So this country is very open, it's very democratic, but they have to keep an eye on these people, because they are already here trying to destroy our this way of life.
Well, Elio, I God bless you for the work that you are doing, your Organization of Venezuelans in Exile. The website is orvex.org. I will put you back on the program, but I got to wrap it up there. Thank you very much for joining us.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you.
All right, 1-866-95-PATRIOT, 957-2874. I hope you were all listening to everything he was saying. These are people who have seen the downside of a government that says, give us unlimited power to be benevolent. They have seen it. He has seen it. These people are in exile. Now, here they are in the United States, and here he is saying that essentially it feels like all of these things that made people leave Venezuela are happening right here, right now. And if you are a progressive voter of air fingers, quote, Latino descent, listen to Mr. Aponte. We're right, they're wrong. That is the end of the story. Government can't do God's work, and capitalism is boss. SiriusXM Patriot.